To take 3/4 glass of water. If you can, I highly recommend steam distiller. Steam distillation is the purest water available. But even right now myself, I don't have a steam distiller in my own house. It can be quite expensive. It's a really worthwhile investment, one that I'm looking forward to doing again this year. But you know, life is life and life happens, so we can't always afford all the little gadgets that we'd like. One way that you can really improve the quality of your water, and just so you know, tap water is generally safer than bottled water because the bottled water industry, spring water or like Dasani and things like that, they have less regulations than tap water. The one thing that that's not that good is chlorine. Chlorine is a very cheap and expensive way to purify the water, but it's also a carcinogen. So what you can do is you can take, get some hard plastic jugs like this. Every night fill them up with water, leave the cap off, and what happens is the chlorine vapors evaporate. And so you'll have less chlorine in your water. Then I just pour it through right now for now, a Brita system, just to make it taste a little better. Again, it'd be nice if you had a reverse osmosis or a steam distillation unit under your sink. Glacier Water produces really awesome under-the-counter steam distillation units. I used to work for them. They're a really great company, and I highly recommend the steam distiller. So better turn down our... Just give me a moment here. I'm just going to make sure we're not burning the dinner. Holy Dinah. This thing's... Beautiful. Okay, so we'll leave that. So, in general, again, I like drinking the cold drinks because they make the body, the metabolism speed up a little bit. And, you know, North Americans tend to like cold drinks. Today I'm using a beautiful juice, guava nectar. Guava is a beautiful fruit that's rich in this red pigment, which is called lycopene, which is high in grapefruit, tomatoes, and grapefruit. Grapefruit, tomatoes, and watermelon. Sorry, I already said grapefruit. So watermelon, grapefruit, tomatoes, and guava. I once had the pleasure of eating guava fresh off the tree on the big island of Hawaii. They taste incredible, but you got to watch out for the little worms that like to burrow into the flesh. So you don't want to bite the worm, so to speak. I know that's popular in tequila, but it's not so recommended for your guava. So I'm going to add a dash, you know, probably a bit less than 1/4 of a cup of this beautiful nectar. The reason I'm not adding too much is that fruit juice tends to be very high in concentrated sugars. What that does is it makes the pancreas basically produce more insulin to deal with the incoming sugar. Now most food, most carbohydrate, all of carbohydrate and a little bit of protein, a little bit of fat, but most of the carbohydrates break down into simple sugars so the body can use them, the brain can use them for glucose and the body can use it for energy. And in order for the glucose to be used properly, the body has to produce a hormone, secrete a hormone from the Langerhans of the pancreas called insulin. Without the insulin, the sugar can't get into the cells to be used as fuel. But the thing about insulin is that it is a fat-storing hormone. So the more insulin your body's kicking out, the more you tend to gain weight or keep weight on. So we want to keep the glycemic index and the glycemic load down, and I will talk in the future about the glycemic index and the glycemic load and why they're so important for you to know about. But to make things simple, we're just going to mostly water, a little bit of guava for flavor, and then we're going to, add a couple of ice cubes, and if you like, if you're growing some beautiful herbs in your home, you can add a small sprig of mint to the top as a garnish, and also for aesthetic purposes. So, cheers.